I recently went on a trip to France to visit my family, which you might know if you watched my last video on the art supplies I brought back. And today I wanted to share a little bit more on that trip with you and create a sketchbook spread inspired by the places I visited. I'll start with a place dear to my heart. This mountain, the Dent de Crolles. This view reminds me of past vacations as a child. Playing with cousins, hiking trails, picking wild berries, family reunions, the sound of cowbells in the distance, and taking in that crisp, fresh mountain air that somehow smells different than anywhere else. Sometimes you come back to a place and somehow it's like you've never left. The memories rush back all at once. You close your eyes and you're there, as if you traveled back in time. Your life has changed so much, but the mountain looks exactly the same. I spent most of my trip in Grenoble, a town nestled in the Alps where mountains surround you on all sides. These bubble-shaped cable cars take you up to the ruins of an old fort, the Bastille, where you can admire the view of the city and surrounding mountains. Down below, the streets of Grenoble are a mix of ancient history and modern life. While I stayed in Grenoble, I got to visit the farmers' market, and I was in awe of all the fresh local produce, the cheese, the bread, etc. on display. It was a feast for the eyes. The vendors are friendly and there's a real sense of community here. People aren't just buying groceries, they're catching up, exchanging recipes, picking the last melon of the season. Everything is fresh and organic, colorful, alive. For my mom's birthday, we drove up to a place named Avalon, not the mythical Avalon of the King Arthur legends, but very quaint nonetheless. In between the festivities, we visited Vézelay and its basilica under a persistent rain. The village dates back to the Middle Ages. Stone buildings, winding narrow streets, everything slopes upward towards the basilica. The basilica sits on top of the hill, a magnificent building that dominates the skyline. Even as a non-religious person, I found myself moved by the architecture and the craftsmanship that went into erecting this place. The vaulted ceilings, the carved capitals with biblical stories, the light coming through those old windows, it's really something. During my stay, I also got to visit the most beautiful park I've ever been to, the Château de Vizille and its grounds. Large trees, perhaps century-old, green lawns, ducks paddling, geese honking, and swans gliding with that impossible elegance swans somehow manage. The chateau itself looms in the background, but somehow the park doesn't feel like it's just decoration for a building. It feels like its own world, peaceful and a little magical too. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you stayed until the end. I really do appreciate it. In fact, if you did, why don't you put a little French flag emoji in the comments? And yeah, let me know in the comments which part of the video you liked the best. I'd like to point out that, so as you saw, my sketchbook spread is a mix of painting and graphite. I've been working with paint a little bit lately to teach myself how to paint with acrylic gouache and gouache. I'm still very much a novice, as you can see, but I'll talk more about that in a future video. I just want to let you know I'm not giving up on graphite, but I needed to explore other things. But like I said, I'll explain that in another video. But in the meantime, thank you again for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!